and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. It is Monday, and as mentioned previously, Rob is not available due to other commitments. It's almost Christmas, so I think people can understand why he's not around. As a result, I was going through my handy dandy list of scenarios that I have. And I noticed this somewhat small one, and it's also a starter kit. So it should be pretty simple to play. I'm actually noticing something here in my spreadsheet that I don't like. I feel compelled to change it. So this, like I said, very small scenario. It's a scenario from Operations Special Edition number 2. This is very different from Special Operations, which I believe was a subsequent magazine to Operations. The two are different. Suffice to say that I'm sure if there's a compilation out there or whatnot of starter kit scenarios, you can find it in there. Perhaps has it gotten reprinted? I don't think it has. The magazine scenarios are kind of weird to track down sometimes. Yeah, they can be kind of annoying. So, Operation Special Issue 2, they also... Nope, that's a different one completely. And, alright. So, do not be confused like I was initially. There is a scenario that is also called Few and Far Between that is also released by MMP, which also features in a magazine. However, it is not the same magazine series. The other Few and Far Between scenario is one between Germany and Russia in 1943 and was released both at ASLOC 2012, but also ASL Journal 11. So not that scenario. This scenario features the Dutch defending a German attack. Seems balanced from what I can see. 11 for the Dutch to the German 7. But I'm curious as to if it might be for reasons of it being a starter kit scenario. As you might expect, starter kit scenarios, the people playing them aren't always experienced, and it is tougher to attack in such scenarios. So we'll see. I will admit I did go a little crazy with movement and stuff, or at least my deployment. So we'll see if it works. I'm actually having to try and remember what rules don't exist in starter kit. I'm pretty sure bypass movement is not allowed. So my tank is kind of poorly placed at the moment, but it'll survive. That's not the end of the world. However, that being said, everything else should be rather fun or safe. So the Germans have a pretty decent force. It's not... having a tank is a very good bonus, but otherwise the forces are equal. They both have 7.5 squads. Really, the Germans just have an advantage on leaders as well as the vehicle. There is a balance to make the vehicle, instead of a Panzer IIA, to change it to a Panzer IIF. Realistically, the biggest difference here is that you're giving it the extra 2 armor on the front. It doesn't really change otherwise. I'm sure there's probably like a smoke grenade thing or whatever different, but honestly, it's not a huge change. So the Germans have 4.5 turns to attack, which is pretty decent for what this scenario is. I opted for a rather spread out defense, although I could realistically see someone just saying, screw it, I'm not going to even present a force at the woods and just stay in the buildings. The objective of the game is that the Germans win at game end if they control all buildings 2 or fewer hexes from YFF. Essentially, this just means this section of 4 buildings. I don't think that's a typo. I just don't... Oh, actually, hold on. Is that the right building I'm looking at? YFF. Yeah, that is correct. Sorry, these 2 buildings are coded the same. It's just a different board. This is board U, right is board Y. Long and short of it is, yeah, you have to be within control buildings. And again, I think it's a little strange because I don't see why you would want to exclude FF6. You could just give the Germans like an extra squad and kind of the same, realistically, same objective. But nonetheless, we're working with that, and that's what we shall do. Now, because it's starter kit, there's no weather rules that we really have to do, so I'm not going to bother rolling those. There's no sniper. ELR for both sides is 3, so should be pretty easy to follow along. And lastly, because this scenario takes place in May, but it normally you don't really see it in starter kit, but grain is plowed grain or plowed fields. Still cost the 1.5. It's just that they're treated as open ground otherwise. So if I'm not checking for hindrance, that's why. I think that's pretty much everything that really is going to matter in the short run. So we're just going to go ahead and get this going. There's no rally phase or prep-fire phase since I'm not on board. We go to movement, and movement's going to be a little funky. First things first, I'm going to have a half squad with a DC go into a stone building in Y21, or Z21, sorry. It really doesn't look like it, just because of the half board depictions. If you were playing with the full boards, or if you didn't crop to half hexes, actually, you know what? I'm going to hope this doesn't break it, but I will try and give this a better example as to what this means. If I crop to full hex and hit OK, does it increase? Yeah, okay, perfect. So this is what I'm talking about. So if you're playing on half boards, if you're cropping half boards, sometimes that can be really difficult to spot, especially if you're a newer player, and some of these buildings are cut pretty pretty short. Z1 is a great example of this. Z9, it's not it's not super hard to notice, but you can miss it. I could see people missing it and not really noticing. Yeah. Anyways, log file before I forget. So I'm going to have a half squad go into the building Z1 with a DC for 2 movements. We're going to take movement off all those guys. And obviously I can see as the defender like what the rest of the setup is, so I kinda, the problem is it's a +2. I think my plan here is going to be to shove 8 firepower up 2. 6 on 8's pretty good. What are we looking at here? It's probably just a 1 check, I think. Yeah. 1 morale check. He's completely fine. These guys are marked prep, and then it is 4 residual there. So now I'm not really incentivized to go into Z1, which sucks because these guys are going to want to move. Similarly, I can wait and go in the advanced phase. That's not great. And obviously moving these guys into Z2, now they're pretty much in direct line of fire from this guy or these guys, that sort of thing. So, yeah, think about residual fire as a defensive player, because it can really help out for setups like this. Excuse me. Okay. I might as well take a risk here. I'm going to have my stack with my 8-1 leader go into the woods of Z0. I don't know if I would choose to continue given the circumstances. So the defender is going to take a shot. Might as well. That is a down 1, up 1. So it's a 5 on 4 flat, which is a 1 check, which really sucks. Leader is pinned. 1 squad breaks. 2nd squad is fine. And 2nd squad breaks. So 2 guys break. Leader's pinned. Now, because well, at least 1 squad is fine, and I don't really want him being a bullet magnet now, I'm just going to have him continue to AA1. This squad is going to shoot again. It is treated as a 2 down 2. 6 on 2, pin test check. He is pinned. That also sucks. Okay, so I need to put a 2 firepower and then a 1 firepower. Now, on the positive side, everybody's pretty much busy with things. I think my goal here is tank is going to move onto the board. So 1, 2. Do I have smoke dispensers? I do have smoke dispensers. Yeah, I'm going to try and place smoke dispensers in my own hex. It should just be 2 dice. I will get smoke. I will get vehicle smoke, which is really nice. I'm pretty... I don't think it counts as infantry smoke. It might be dispersed. Let's double check that, just in case. For full transparency, I was thinking of doing a scenario with French tanks trying to assault or exit off board, but it looked far too much like the scenario I played I think a month ago. That had the same idea of units, vehicles are trying to get from one side of a board to another. They have a lot of defense, so it's really up to Germans to not necessarily get lucky, but also kind of. And I just figured it wasn't really worth it. Blah, blah. Oh, it is buttoned up. Doesn't matter. That still is placed. White dispersed. Cool. Does it count as other ammo stuff? I don't believe so. So this guy's essentially spent 3 movement points, which is fine. He's then going to turn for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I want to shoot with anybody? Probably not. 9, 10. No, you know what? That's not worth it. We'll turn 9 and stop for 15. It's a real big issue because I do have 2 LMGs. I would like to blow this tank up, but I don't like this threat coming in on board. I think I'll hold on to it just for now. Back over in the bottom, I'm going to have one squad and the leader go into Z2. I'm really not sure about whether I want to save this, because that's a really powerful stack. I don't really want to give them any movement. So yeah, I think I'm going to hold firepower for now. These 2 squads are going to subsequent, because I can. It is a down 1 up 2, I believe, shot. So they're looking at 4 firepower. It's not going to matter, which is good news for the Germans. This stack will then continue. I also need to put a 2 residual. I forget if dispersed, because I don't think that counts as a hindrance to reduce. I think it would have to be more like orchards. This squad, do I do final protective fire? I actually don't know if final protective fire is a thing in starter kit. I'm going to assume it doesn't exist. Do I have the starter kit rules on my hard drive? I should. Where the heck are they? There we go. I'm going to assume the errata's 2021 is the most final protective. Oh, wow, they do have final protective. All right, well, I mean, makes sense to do it. It's going to pin them, but that is a, yeah, it's 4 firepower, down 2. So it's 5 on 4, so 1 check. Leader breaks, squad breaks, and this guy is pinned. All right, well, this attack is not going anywhere. So I'm going to progress to defensive fire phase. I'm going to take a shot, LMG, that is definitely a hit. I'm really glad that wasn't the to-kill shot. Damn. So that guy's just going to get marked as a 2-hit. Same thing for this guy. These guys are all broken. I'm not too worried about them, especially since everybody that isn't is pinned or in a building. So I'm going to keep trying to blow up the tank. That is going to miss, unfortunately. Go to advanced fire phase. I mean, I've only gotten 2 options. I guess I could technically do 2 firepower up 1. No. We go to routes. Routes is definitely going to have something here. So route phase, this stack goes into the building. Everybody else here stays where they are because they can. Advanced phase, going to have the stack with the 9-1 go into a Z7, and the 4-6-7 is going to join Z1. Yeah, they can stay just like that. No other advances because I can't do any. And we go to CC, there's none. Rally phase for the Dutch, no weather roll. Take off our pins. In the rally phase, I'm going to try for the self-rally on the leader. Doesn't happen. DM comes off. And then over here, I've got 2 attempts. Neither works. The DM comes off. Prep fire phase. Prep fire phase. You know what? I'm feeling lucky on this. No. All right. I think these guys have to pull out. LMG is going to take a shot at the tank. That is a hit. It's not a kill. Whatever. I'll just mark the entire stack. I just don't think I want anybody else to really be around. So I'm going to go to movement phase. In the movement phase, 457 in CC4 is going to go to DD3, EE4, and then into FF4 for 4 total movement. CC5 will do similar to DD4 for 1 into EE5 for 2-3. Stack in CC6 will just head into DD5. The guy in EE7 goes to FF6. And that's it. Not much else. In the defensive fire phase, the tank in AA7 is going to shoot a 9 firepower up 1. Ouch. 4 on 9. We are looking at a 3 morale check. The leader is pinned. And the squad is super broken. It's a 3 morale check. He will ELR. I don't think anybody else ELR'd. I actually have to check that now. I think the worst was like a 1 check. They're on 3. I would need to roll an 11 at the very least. And I don't think anybody has rolled super poorly. A 9, an 8. Yeah, no really bad morale checks. So that's really pretty much the first one. So the tank is shot. I do have rate of fire, and I might as well shoot 4 up 1. 7 as a pintash check. Doesn't affect anybody. I have rate of fire again, so I will take another shot. 6 on 4 is a normal morale check, so leader, he's fine again. And the green squad is now reduced to a half squad. I need to put this there and take this off. Alright, then I'm going to have the stack in Z7 shoot at the same target because there's no reason not to. They are directed by a leader. The tank will not act as a hindrance, so it's a +2 shot with a -1 for the leader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's in range. So 14 up 1. Not looking too good. 7 on 14 is a 2 morale check. The leader is fine. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, there goes that guy. In response to the green squad being killed, the leader will pick up the LMG. Oh, I guess that might not be covered in starter kits. That's... Can the leader get it? I'm not sure if he's allowed. Rally phase. I don't know if he can, so I'm just going to... I'm going to have it on the ground. I can try it during the rally phase, not the end of the world. But these guys are done shooting. I will then have a fire group of everybody that can. So 6 plus 4, 10, up 1. Nope. Pretty sure 11 at most might be a pin test check, but I really don't think 11 on 10 is anything. No. Off by 1. Okay. I don't need to mark them because the phase will immediately end. Otherwise, yeah, you should mark them. I don't have any advancing fire I want to do. Specifically because there's no point. Route phase comes in. Excuse me. The route phase happens. Nobody can route. Go to advances. I don't know if it would be considered sacrificing this guy. I could have him in BB1 and prevent movement, potentially. But he'd be kind of screwed no matter what. I think I pull him back. I think that's the sensible thing to do. No other advances. We go to CC. There's no CC because nobody is in combat or melee or whatever. So we go to turn 2. We take our pins off. In the rally phase, I've got a couple of things to do. So self-rally first. The leader will make it, just barely. He'll try to rally the squad he's with. He will make it. And then over in the woods of Z0, I will get a... Oh, there's no heat of battle in... Is there heat of battle? Did they add that in... There's probably no heat of battle. Boo! No heat of battle. It sucks. Alright, I'll take the squad back anyways. So I get all my squads back. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. He doesn't pick it up. Alright, that sucks. That's even worse. Well, prep fire phase, I don't really have anybody that's currently a threat, so I'm not going to worry about shooting at anybody. Obviously, there's this guy. He can still target some people, but I don't think it truly matters. So I'm just going to go to movement. We'll do the easy ones first. So AA1 is going to go to BB1 for 2, and then into CC2 for 3, 4. This guy in CC3 is absolutely going to shoot because there's no reason not to. It is a 9 on 8. This is a +1 for woods, -1 for non-assault, and then it's 4 doubled to 8. So 9 on 8 is a pin task check. The squad is fine. That is terrible news. There is now 4 residual. Over in the back, in Z0, excuse me, I'm going to have them move as a stack. What's their range? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It really sucks that I can't take advantage of that. I'm going to have to wait, I think. So they're going to go 1 and then 2, 3 to BB1. I really don't want to throw them into a 4 residual for free and then get shot at a second time. The stack in Z1 is going to split. So I'm going to have the half squad with the DC. They're going to go into AA2 for 1.5. And then into BB2 for 3.5 total. Squad is going to shoot a second time, because why not? It goes from 4 to an 8 because of adjacent, and then halved because it's their second shot down to a 4. It is up 1, down 1, so 6 on 4 is a normal morale check, and these guys are fine. They're not even pinned. There will be 2 residual left. And now I'm kind of free. So this guy can't shoot anybody further away from adjacent because he's already got two targets, essentially. I mean, 1 target would be enough, but again, just can't shoot further. So this stack will go 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6 into BB4. The tank is going to pay 1 to start, then go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turns for 10. 11. Yeah, it goes 11, then stops for 12, and then delays for 15. I want to try and catch these guys, essentially, at this point. And then I'm going to... Oh, this also should have gone away. Doesn't matter. It didn't affect any shots or line of sight. I'm then going to try and be a little... Like, gamble a little bit here. I don't think anybody has a line of sight through here. Like, if so, this is like the weirdest, like, straight angle that maybe like BB9 to EE5 or something crazy. So I'm going to hope I don't get bitten. And yeah, so Stack and Z7 will move as a group. They'll go to AA8 for 1, BB8 for 2, CC9 for 3. If I take a shot, I'm losing out on shooting on CC2, so I'm not going to bother. So these guys are here for 3. To DD8 for 4. And EE9 for 5. Doesn't really matter where, if they go further or not, but I might keep them in EE9 because why not? So that's it for their movement. We go to defensive fire phase. I don't really have any shots outside of 8 firepower onto CC2 as an 8 up 2, or 8 up 1, sorry. That is an 8 on 8, which is a normal morale check. This squad will break, and these guys are marked as first fire. I don't think there's any other shots I can do. We go to advancing fire phase. I'm going to toss the DC because that just makes the most sense. Pretty sure you can throw them. You don't have to do... Pretty sure there's no other changes in starter kit. It's pretty much just normally you can use them. They are elite, so there's no, you know, mess there. It should be a +3 attack when thrown. Or is it actually... Whoa, you might not be able to throw a DC. Whoa. Okay, you can't throw a DC in starter kit. Or at least there's no rules for it. So, alright. Bit of a bummer, but I'll have a 2 firepower up 1. Nope. Stack and BB4 will shoot at CC3, so a 4 up 1. Nope. And then the stack and EE9 is going to shoot at EE8. That guy's just dead. It's a flat shot, and that's at least a 7, which, you know, if you're not playing the IIFT, it'd be a 6. Snake Eyes on a 6 is a KIA anyways, which, funnily enough, I think also blows up the gun, the LMG. Also, I forgot to move that. So yeah, he's just vaporized, and yeah, hard times for those guys. In the route phase, the only guy that has to route is CC2. I can route him not really anywhere, but I do have options. And shits and giggles, he'll go to BB1 just to go to the leader. We could then go to advanced phase. I don't really want to lose a 248 with the DC, as you know, funny as it could potentially be. It's not really worth it. So I'm gonna have the stack and BB1 split essentially. BB2 can stay where he is. BB4 is going to split. I'm going to have the leader go into CC4 so as to not, you know, be dead type idea instantly from this stack. And then the stack in EE9, maybe I should have gone to DD7, but then they're kind of instantly vulnerable. I don't know. I'm just going to have them occupy FF8. I don't know if there's a good choice here. No CC. We go to Dutch turn 2. On the Dutch player's second turn, they will get reinforcements. These count as a squad, a half squad, and an 8-1 leader. And considering the losses so far, they need both. I think... I could try to CC the tank. However, there's enough German infantry nearby to protect it that that's not going to work. I think the other option would be to try to make it for FF6, but this tank should be able to see EE6. Obviously I don't want to draw it now, but the fact of the matter is that this does not reach far enough to the right. Like if this was, another millimeter or two to the right, I'd probably cover that off, but I think that's visible. So as a result, I can't really go throwing guys away. I think my plan here is going to be have them make it to DD5. If I can get the DD5, I should be fine. And I can at least, kind of short hop and skip to them. So I think that's my plan. Rally phase actions, there's only one to do. The Germans will rally their squad back, which has been really, really helpful for them to maintain the push. We go to prep fire phase. Prep fire, I'm going to have a 12-up-1 against the guys in CC5. 10 on 12 is probably a pin test check. It is only a pin test check. They are pinned. These guys are marked prep. 457 in CC3 is going to shoot CC4 as a 8-up-1. That is an 8-on-8. So normal morale check. Leader breaks. And this squad breaks and ELRs. Has not been their day. Take that off. These two squads will combine and shoot at CC2 as another 8-up-1. It's a pin task check, and they are fine. The guy in FF6 doesn't really have a shot at anybody, and I think I'm going to want to reinforce him ASAP, because if these guys can set up and take a shot at him and then take that building, he doesn't really have much else going for him. We'll go to movement phase. Stack off board 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 2 flat. Versus a 4-up-2 or a 4-up-3. Sure, I'll take a 2 flat. I hate this. This guy, so CC1 is shooting at CC6. It's a 2 flat. That's 3-on-2, which is a 1 morale check. Leader's fine, super fine, and fine. Alright, well, I'm glad that didn't bite me in the ass. I will then go and spend the remaining 2 movement points to get into DD5. Then there's no other movement, so we go to defensive. The 2 adjacent stacks to CC3, so BB2 and CC2 are going to shoot at him. It is an up-1 shot, and that is 12 firepower, so 8-on-12 is a 1 morale check. That is super important because that will break them. I don't know if... Can you take prisoners? Okay, no prisoners. Very important. And I guess interdiction would just normally apply. Yeah, okay, cool. So defensive fire phase, those 2 guys have taken shots. I don't really have anybody else to shoot with, except CC5. So I might as well. It's a 4-up-2. No way whatsoever. These guys don't have a shot. This tank doesn't have a shot. Although, I could... I don't think he has a shot anyways. I don't think he does. So we go to advanced fire phase, of which there is none. Take off our counters here. In the rout phase, the attacker always goes first, aka the person whose turn it is. So in this case, the squad in CC3 has to move because there are units adjacent. His target is He's got 3 targets, essentially. However, he has 3 targets because he doesn't know that this guy exists yet. And that is a big problem. So he's going to make his first move into DD3. I can't take prisoners in starter kit. If starter kit allowed for prisoners, I would just declare taking a prisoner and he would immediately go to, say, the half squad BB2. But he can't. So he has to go through DD3, which means he gets interdicted, which means he takes a morale check. He's completely fine. He does not recover from that, unfortunately. Even in regular rules, you don't get a heat of battle, which is a bit of a shame. Now, problem is that he's going to eventually see FF3. So he then moves into EE4 because he has to get... once he gets into DD3, he sees this guy, so he can't move closer to him. So yeah, he goes to EE4. He takes interdiction again. He's fine a second time, but now he still doesn't see that tank. Wow, okay, that got really lucky then. Does he? So he doesn't see it from anywhere? Wow, okay. Well, he got really lucky. So he makes it to EE4, and then I'll take the stone building because it's a stone building, and that is way better. Then we get to advanced phase because these guys don't have to move. Although I guess technically I'll just move them back. That'd be 2, 4, 6. Yeah, they can do that. I might as well move them back, but otherwise they don't have to because they're not. They would no longer be adjacent to an enemy unit. Advanced phase. I don't really want to take that shot. I think I'm going to throw the half squad into EE5 to watch these guys. And then this stack in DD5 goes to EE5. And then eventually I need to send that leader into the stone building. I could potentially shuffle more, but I think concentrating, while risky, is the better option at the moment. There is no melee. So we do not have to roll for anything. There's no fighting. No weather. Turn 3 for Germans. Rally phase has me with a bunch of stuff here. So the Dutch can't rally, so they will just have their guys sit there. Over in the woods of BB1, neither of those guys make it, so they're just going to stay there. We go to prep fire phase. I could go for an 8-2. It's not necessarily a bad option. Or sorry, a 4-2. Did I say 8-2? I don't know if I said 8-2. It would not be an 8-2. Yeah, you know, 4-2. If I get real lucky, I'm gonna try. 5, whatever. 4-2. It's a 7. It's a pintash check, so it's not, you know, the best result, but could be worse. At least it's a result. Leader is not pinned. Squad is pinned. Squad is pinned. That's probably the best results I could have gotten. So both squads are pinned. That's really big because now they're not going to be able to really apply their firepower, of which they have the most because of the LMG that they're stacked with. Now, it doesn't mean they're defenseless, but it does suck that their firepower is reduced. I can't encircle, and you know what? Encircle? Does encircle work? Yeah, there's no encircling. That makes sense. I don't think I have any other shots. We'll go to movement phase. In the movement phase, I need to be real careful here. Actually, I don't have to be careful, but I do have to watch and plan carefully. So first things first, I'm going to send one squad as an assault move to FF7. I will take this shot with FF6. There's just no reason not to. It's a 4 on 8, which is a morale check of some kind. I don't think that's a K result. No. It's a 2 morale check, but it doesn't matter. That squad are a bunch of superhumans. Oops. Which is really, you know, fantastic for the Germans. You really want that as a result. Yeah, I think I've diverted enough attention. Maybe potentially. Squad, half squad with a DC. They will go to CC3 for 2. No shot. They'll go to DD3 for 3. And I think, judging by the amount of like space between and all that, I'm going to take a shot with the pin gang. That sucks. So they are normally a 10 firepower. They get reduced to 5. This half squad is moving in the open, so it's down 2. So 9 on 5, down 2. So 7 on 5 is a pin test check. And they are fine, which is also not great. They will be marked first fire, and that'll get reduced to 2 on residual. I'm then going to go to DD4 for 4. The stack in EE5 is going to subsequent. And yeah, that guy's just dead at that point. It's a 10 down to a 5 down to 2.5, but it's still down 2. So 1 on 2.5 is still a KIA, which I think eliminates the DC, which sucks. But, you know, that's what you get. These guys are now final fired, though, which is important. I have no clue what this guy's line of sight is, and this guy's line of sight is just bad. Squad in CC2 is going to go into DD2 for 1. Do I think I could get away with not shooting? Not particularly. We'll go to EE3 for 2, and then I'll take a shot as a 4 down 2. Pintash check. He's fine. That's a bummer. Do residual. Squad will then go to EE4. I don't want to take another shot with these guys, because if that goes poorly, then that's kind of just game over. So I will subsequent from FF4. He cowers as well. Oh, man. Okay, so it goes from 4 to an 8, down to 4 for subsequent, then cowers to 2. And then it is down 2 because it's still, you know, open ground, all that jazz. 4 and 2 is a 1 check, and he is ELR'd and breaks. So kind of getting lucky here. Squad in FF4 breaks, or is DM'd because he was adjacent to an enemy unit. Squad in CC1 goes to DD1 for 1, EE2 for 2, FF2 for 3. I'm going to try and take this shot. I don't know if that's actually in LOS. That is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. It's a 4 down 3 shot. So that is 6 on 4, which is a normal. And these guys break. I am rolling absolutely terribly on all my morale checks today. It's bad. Okay, well, I don't really have many more options. This is 2 residual. Squad, BB1 will just pay 2-4 to get to CC3. And stack in FF8 is going to go to EE8 and then EE7 for 4 total. Squad in FF6 is going to subsequent. 8 down to 4 flat. So 7 on 4, pintash check. Leader is fine. And the squad is pinned. God damn it. Ugh, okay. So those guys are finaled. 1, 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 4, 6. If they survive it. Yeah, a lot of interdictions. Not going to help. But I really want these guys to come back at the very least. So yeah, I think I'm going to just try and risk it at this point. Tank in FF3 is going to start for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stop for 10. And then delay the rest. Yeah, I think that's my plan here. That's it for movement. Defensive, everybody's shot outside of this squad, or half squad. And they don't have anybody to shoot at least not realistically. For shits and giggles, I'll try to shoot an EE7, but I'm pretty sure that's blocked. Wow, that's not blocked. Okay. It's a 1-up-1. Nothing happens. How is that? Alright, whatever. That's surprising. Advanced fire phase. In the advanced fire phase, tank in EE6 is going to take a shot at the guys in EE5. Maybe I'll get lucky. So it's 9 double to 18 back down to 9. Pretty sure that's how it would go. So 9 up 2. 8 on 9 should be at least be normal. So leader's fine, squad is fine, and bottom guy breaks. So I'm getting something. It's not great, but I'm getting something. I'm pretty sure it's not quartered because he's not moving. Since he paid the stop. 2 of 2? No. And then do I do a fire group? No. I'm gonna have the guy in FF7 shoot first. So 7 firepower up 3. 9 on 7. Pintash check. Okay. He's pinned. It's a good start. And then same type of attack from EE7. It's halved again, so it's not 7, it's 3.5, but it's only up 2. Didn't matter, didn't achieve a good enough result. And that's it for shooting. So we go to route phase. Again, the attacker goes first. So in this case, the Germans. So the squad in EE4 goes to DD3. They take a morale check, and they are fine. It would probably be insane to continue through open ground, so they will just go to CC3 for 3 total, and then 4-5 into CC2. Squad in FF2 has no option, essentially. They have to route back, so they will take their first interdiction, they will get reduced, and then they will continue to DD1, and they will get reduced second time. That sucks. The squad in EE5 has to route, so they will route to the stone building, and the leader will join them. Take off one of the DMs. And, yeah. We'll go to advances. In the advanced phase, oops, not what I want to do. In the advanced phase, I'm going to toss a squad and a leader into FF6. Squad in CC5 goes to DD5. Squad in CC3 goes to CC4. And, you know what? The leader in BB1 can stay in BB1. We finally have CC. So in the close combat phase, there's one for FF6 on board Y. And we go for ambush. Pretty sure ambush. Let me double check here, make sure. All right, cool. So ambush, a chance or whatever for the Germans, and then the Dutch, of which nothing happens. The Dutch unit is pinned, so he gets a +1, and the Germans will get a -1, but that should be it overall. So nothing happens. We go to the actual combat. It is a 1-to-1 for the Germans with a -1, and the Dutch are at a 1-to-4 with no modifier. So Germans first, nothing, and then 1 to 4 will be a casualty reduction because, yep. Random selection. The squad is now half squad. That is terrible. And then this turns into a melee. Wow. Okay. That's it for German turn 3. Take off our pins. Rally phase. Again, no weather checks to make. So rally phase, the Dutch have 2 checks. Nothing happens. Over on the German side, they have a leader that makes it and a squad that makes it. So both are their broken guys in BB1 make it, but not the guy in CC2. His DM comes off. Prep fire phase. In the prep fire phase, squad at the LMG tries to blow up the tank. They will get a hit. That shouldn't kill, or at least I don't think so. It's +2 for range considerations. So that the 2 kill of 4 goes to a 6. The 2 kill number was a 5. It goes up by 1 for armor, so it equals. That'll be a stun, which is still bad, but could be a lot worse. The squad will then take its turn to shoot at the guys next to him. That won't work, and that'll be it. Stack in FF4 is going to take a shot at CC4. That is a 6-on-4 normal morale check, and they're fine. I don't have anything else I can do, so we'll go to movement phase. In the movement phase, the half squad in EE5 is going to go to FF4 for 1, and then into GG7 for 2 and 3. I'm going to not shoot with my squad with the LMG. Would it matter? No, I'll take that shot. Why not? 2 on 7. Or sorry, it's still 3 on 7. Because it's down 1 for not assault, but up 1 for. So 3 on 7 is still a K2, which means he's just vaporized. Okay. That will be 2 residual as well. Leader with squad in DD5 will go to EE6. Now, I'd be real shocked if somehow the guy in DD5 had a shot, and I don't think he does, so I'm not going to shoot. But they will go to EE6 for 1, FF6 for 2 and 3, and I think I'm just going to hang tight there, because I can have these guys kind of slow crawl into FF4 and all that. We'll hope it works. That'll be it for movement. Defensive fire phase, squad in DD5 will take a shot at EE5. They are doubled up to no effect. Not what I wanted. Squad in CC4 shoots at FF4. Up 3 is still a normal on this big stack, which is crazy. So leader is fine. Squad is fine. Both squads are halved, which also not great. And then they are re-DM'd. Wow, okay. I'm kind of wishing that snipers existed at the moment, but what can you do? Take off residual. Advanced fire phase, none. I just don't really see there being anything I can do. We'll go to routes. In the route phase, I mean, I might as well just jettison these half squads and have them go to FF6 and just stay there. Nobody else has to move. In the advance phase, I could go after the tank, and it'd probably be a kill, or at least it'd be close to being a kill. I think I'm going to take my chances against the this guy there. I think I'm going to take my chances against the squad in DD5. Then these guys just have them be in the stone building. I mean, one is already going well for the Dutch, so maybe I can parlay that into a second one, and we'll see. So CC phase, I'm going to do the continuation here. So this is a 1-to-1 now for the Dutch, no modifier. And the Germans are at 1-to-2. So 1-to-1, kill, and 1-to-2. All right, well, that's just gross. That's... it's always on my pest leader. Okay, and then over here, ambush chance, so Dutch, and then German. There's no modifiers, as far as I'm aware. So it's a 1-to-1 for the Dutch, and a 1-to-1 for the Germans. The Germans will be reduced, but the Dutch squad is eliminated. That's just... Oof. Okay. Alright, so that's... I'm just going to move this and link it. Okay. So the stun turns into a +1 counter. If he gets stunned again, he will be removed. But there are no LMGs left for the Dutch, so that shouldn't be a thing anymore. We'll see. No... Oops. Excuse me. There's no weather, so we go back to rallies and things. Germans get a self-rally. It won't happen. And then the Dutch get 2 rally attempts. Neither will work. DM comes off, and we get back to shooties. So, prep fire phase, I'm going to have the squad in EE7 shoot at the guy in the stone building. It is up 3 on 14. So, 10 on 14 is a pin test check. He's pinned. I did get rate of fire, but honestly, a 3 up on a up 3 is not worth it, so I'm not going to bother. I will shoot a 9 up 2, however, or do I want to do... Oh, sorry, that would be up 3. I will do a 9 up 2 on the stack in FF6. Obviously, that's my great roll there. So 5 on 9 is 2 morale check. Leader is fine. Half squad is gone, and other half squad, same result. So things are not going well. I don't believe... Oh, I did get rate of fire. Oh, sorry. There'd be a +1. Hold on. So that was a 5 on 9. So it'd be a 6 on 9, which is still a 1 check, which does not prevent both of the half squads being eliminated. I did get rate of fire, which means I will take a 4 firepower shot against the leaders. So it's a up 3 on 4, which is 1 off of a result. I have rate of fire. I will shoot again. No result. I will shoot again. No result. Huzzah. That's not worth shooting with. Neither is this, realistically. So yeah, we'll go to movement phase. In the movement phase, half squad and DD5 is going to assault move to EE6. It's kind of my only... I mean, yeah, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna let the half squad go. Squad in CC4 is going to normal move to CC5, and I will take a shot from FF4. Yeah, gross. 4 on 4, I believe, is a 1 check. He's fine. Is it a 1 check or 2 check? Pretty sure it's a 1 check. It is a 1 check. So he's fine. These guys have shot, and there is a 2 residual on that hex. They will then spend the remaining of their movement to get into DD5, to which nobody can shoot. The 7-0 is going to assault move to CC2. If I shoot now, it would only affect the 7-0, so the broken guy would not get DM'd. So there's no point in trying to punish that. And... if I do, I can do 2... Yeah, wow. Oh, and these guys are locked on this guy. So realistically, only he can shoot. Yeah, this stack, BB1, will go 2, 3, 4. He'll take a shot. It's a 7 on 4 pin test check. Leader's pinned. Alright. Come on. I'm gonna have to run through open ground on the last turn because I keep getting pinned. That's just gross. That's it for movement in the defensive fire phase. The pinned squad in FF6 is going to shoot at EE7. That is 4 up a 1, so it just misses. Don't have anything else to shoot at or with, so defense fire goes away. Advanced fire phase, none, realistically. So, routes, none. And then advances. Let's see if second time is the charm. Probably isn't. But we're going to go back into CC against a pinned squad and hope for the best. We go to CC, ambush, no ambush on either side. Germans are at a 3-2, no modifier. And the other guys are at a 1-2. Actually, yeah, 1-4, actually, because I just target the entire group. I guess I could do 1-2, but whatever. 3-2, I need a 6. I did not get a 6. There's no modifier, so this turns into a melee. So we go to turn 4 for the Dutch. The pins come off. Rallies, there's only 1, and it's for the Germans. They will get their squad back. We go to prep fire. I'll have an 8 up 2. Okay. They're just done. And do I try to move? Do I move or I shoot? I'm going to shoot. 4 up 1. Nope. Alright. In the movement phase, the 8-1 is going to salt move to GG4. I'm going to just have to try and stack FF4, I think. Go to defensive fire phase. These two... Actually, no. I'm going to split them. So, stack in CC2 is going to shoot at GG4 as a 4 up 1. Didn't do it. CC3 is going to shoot at the same target as a 4 flat. Normal morale check. Leader's pinned. And squad's fine. That's stupid. Alright. Their shot. And 4 firepower, or technically 8, up 3 against FF4. 9 is a pin test check. Leader's pinned. Squad is fine. It really prevents me from going CC. Then 9 up 3. No. Pretty sure it'd be no. I do have rate of fire. Sorry, it'd be up 4 again because they're +1. That's not going to do anything for sure. So, not going to bother. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes, none. Because people just got pinned instead of anything else. Advances. Okay, so if I advance this squad into the stone building, it's a huge target. Everybody's stuck. If I advance and do CC, I can at least potentially guarantee... I think causing CCs is going to be the real big issue. No. I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to hold back. So if I move these guys out and I win, they'll take an 18 up 2, up 3, which sucks. It's just not good. If I wait, I force the Germans to have to come to me. I also don't want to give up the -1 modifier. So I think the plan is to just wait in GG4. As bad as that might be, to wait in GG4 and pray, I guess. So yeah, we go to CC. I'll do 1-1 versus the 468 with the LMG. The Germans are just all in, so 1-1, no, and the Germans will get a kill on the Dutch squad. Which that might actually seal the deal, to be honest. I was really hoping that squad would get another very surprising victory. So we go to German turn 5. There are no units to rally. Pins come off, which means both leaders are in good order. We go to prep fire phase, and in the prep fire phase, I mean, first order business, 8 up 3. No. Pretty sure there's no 10 on 8. There's not. I could shoot a 9 up 4. That'd be bad. So maybe I wait. I'm going to do a 4 up 1. Just the squad. 8 on 4 does nothing. Probably if it would have been it would have been flat. It'd still just be a pin test check. Not worth it. Movement phase. Tank is going to start for 1. They're going to go to FF5. They're going to unbutton. They're then going to attempt smoke. They will get smoke, which might actually be the game decider there. So they now have smoke in their hex. The tank will continue to GG5 for 4. Turn for 5. Stop for 6. Yeah. Stack. I don't technically have to. The half squad is going to assault move in FF5 for 2. It's a 1 for open ground, but smoke adds 1. Do I take that shot? Probably not. This squad is dangerous. It's just really, really dangerous. I think I hold because I have the shot on EE6. And specifically because I have the shot on EE6. The 7-0 in CC2 goes to DD2 for 1, into EE3 for 2, and FF3 for 3. The entire point is going to be to throw him into FF4. I have much better targets with either of these guys, so I don't want to shoot at the solo guy. We'll just call him Crazy Dave and have that be a thing. Stack and CC3 is going to go to CC4. I will take the shot with GG4. That's probably game. They don't cower, I guess, technically. But that's 100% a miss. They've spent 2. They will go to DD4 for 3. I don't know if I have line of sight. I'm going to declare... Oh, no, wait. They can't shoot anymore. It has to be these guys. 4 down 2. It's a 7. It's a pin test check. The leader is fine. The squad is fine. They pay 4-5 to get into EE5. I am going to not take a shot. If we want to do it correct, there would be a 2 residual and technically a 2 residual. Squad in FF6 goes to... is just going to assault move to FF5. Screw it. I don't need to stack them in EE5. So we go to defensive fire phase. Stack in GG4 is going to shoot at the leader. It's a down 1 shot on 4, so 3 on 4 is 2 morale check. He's fine, surprisingly. That is gross. And then FF4 is going to shoot. It's an up 2 regardless. So we'll go against the leader. It's a 8 to a 4, up 2, so 7 on 4 is a pin test check. So leader's fine, squad is fine, and squad is also fine because of the -1 from that leader. So we go to advanced fire phase. In the advanced fire phase, the tank is going to shoot at GG4. It's going to be a 9 firepower up 1, or sorry, up 2. Didn't matter. Pretty sure 12 is not a thing you can get. And then Yeah, I'm just gonna fire both FF5. Oh no, wait, they would get the pluses. We'll shoot EE5 solo, nothing, and then the stack in there is gonna also shoot. But yeah, there's no way. So everybody shot. We go to routes, of which there are none, surprisingly, on the last turn. Advances. So I just need to have my big squads, sorry, go in. Nothing else matters. So we'll just toss everybody we can, minus the half squad. And I guess this squad can go up one, sure. This tank is going to button up. And we go to CC phase. I'm really sad I didn't pin anybody in there or whatnot, but what can you do? So Germans and then Dutch. The Germans get a -1 from the leader, and that will save them from being ambushed, which is good. I don't think they would have lost anyways, but so there's no ambush. The Germans have 14 firepower to the Dutch 5. So it's not 3-1, but they do get 2-1 at the very least. So it's 2-1 for the Germans with a -1. This roll determines what happens, and that is enough to kill. So the Dutch now have to target everybody, which is, 5 to 14. So it's 1 to 4. They need a 2. Yeah, they need a 2. They didn't get it. So they die, and then the Germans just win because they control all of the requisite buildings. If the Dutch could have gotten the snake eyes, they would have killed all the Germans, and then there's no one left. So the building just remains Dutch controlled. And that is it for Few and Far Between, S-33. Tight scenario. I actually don't think it's all that bad. If anything, I think I'm coming back to my original assessment of, I think the reason why the Dutch have won more is because this scenario is in my mind is used as a training scenario for a lot of people just getting into starter kit, and as a result it's just really tough for the Germans to attack and push in. Just to see if I've got the right vision, I guess we'll call, of this. I'm going to see if I can link this to Roar, because it's not on the ASL archive, which is strange. But it could be because of the double Few and Far Between. Nope, nobody ever locked it in. Let's see what that changes. Yep, Dutch is still, it's 12-9 versus 11-7, so it's pretty much the exact same thing. What do we got here? So I repeated this game with a better German plan of action. I used the tank to lay smoke for the infantry and advance slowly. The Dutch fire was ineffective. I also created a German killer stack with the MGs. Pretty much what I did. Turn 2, this stack broke the Dutch defenders in the woods and rest of the troops advanced. Panzer 2A kept the Dutch DM'd and laid smoke while the German attackers slowly took each house, going for CC. As the last turn, only a single Dutch half squad remained locked in melee against 3 German squads in an objective house, with the rest dead or dispersed. It was enough for Dutch victory. I don't know why this guy marks it as a draw, since it's clearly a Dutch victory, but alright. I don't know if that would necessarily... That's weird. That doesn't count as a draw on the archive. Strange. Either way. I wonder if it's like a weird Roar import thing. Restarted the game after disastrous turn 1 for the Germans. Dutch LMG destroyed the tank. Snake eyes. Killed half the German units in the first turn. Ouch. Yeah, don't travel in giant stacks is usually the big, especially if it's open ground. You really want to don't take your chances. Dutch domination, but we screwed entry point for the Germans. Interesting. So in this scenario, the Germans are clearly marked as East Edge. I'd be interested to see how they messed that up. Because I can't really think of a side giving more of an advantage for the Dutch than them already setting up on Hex Row BB. Hex Row BB and being able to shoot it at anybody that comes in. Interesting. All right. Well, what else do we got here? We have Wonder About Balance, i.e. Pro Dutch. Did have some tense moments in CC. Found out that after we had not shortened the boards enough. Also interesting. Because that's just straight ZGG on both boards. So it's not... It shouldn't be confusing. But then again, physical boards can sometimes, you know, you just get tied up into it. German Panzer tried to get behind the Dutch defense, but accurate LMG fire silenced it in a permanent manner. A major group of German Lancers assaulted Southwoods, but were pushed back by the Dutch. Without the help of the Panzer, the various German assaults failed and could not reach the buildings. Major Dutch victory. Lots of boxcars on both sides, but Malfing the MA on Panzer II and Kang the half squad with the DC was probably the decider. German threw lots of firepower at the Dutch Germans, no avail. What do we got? Dutch set up forward in the wood line is the plan to make the Germans pay for as much as possible their open ground, then fall back on the village. Yeah, pretty much what you should do. Germans nearly broke the Dutch defense in the second turn. However, the Dutch rode well in the defensive firepower shots throughout the game. Bloody the Germans. Didn't have the resources time to take all the buildings. A lucky MG shot that took out the MG on the AFE on the first turn helped. Dutch rolled better when it counted. Yada yada. This I think this person is just a second AAR to the same game. I can't read Spanish, unfortunately. I have to work on that. Another guy, 2 cow rolls on the initial German move allowed the Germans to reach the tree line, and the tank did the rest. Ouch. Yeah, 2 cow rolls. If it's big cow rolls too, can't really do anything about it. Dutch set up in the tree line in order to decimate the Germans as they entered the board. Plan was solid, but the Germans passed every single morale check to pressure the Dutch. Advanced fire broke some of the... and you advanced fire to break Dutch? Ouch. They ended up on the back foot by turn 2. Particularly, the German AFU circled around into the village and caused failure to rout. The Germans controlled the remainder of the scenario. The Dutch reinforcements almost grabbed the building on the last turn, but Snake Eyes wiped them out. Fun and quick scenario. Yeah, so I think the consensus is that it's not impossible for the Germans to make it. You do have to get a little bit lucky on turn 1 to have your advance get into the woods. It's not necessary to get into the woods right away, but getting into it will certainly help. The Dutch have to balance between defending a lot and just heading back into the buildings. I think the buildings is your best bet. Like, you really just need to be in the woods for a turn to prevent like a lot of movement, and then you just take it from there. It seems like there's a lot of people losing their Panzer IIA on turn 1, sometimes before they ever even get a shot or smoke, which is kind of disgusting. But otherwise, yeah, I think maybe put the balance in this scenario, because the balance really just gives a slightly better tank, as I've shown before. The difference is almost literally just the armor. There's one more movement, but you don't need the 15 movement. 14 is certainly fine for what is essentially just a half board on open ground with no major features, and you can't bypass. So there's no double, triple, quarter, quadruple movement points cost. Yeah. It's strange. This marks it as a starter kit 3 rules specifically. So maybe you're supposed to have concealment, but I don't know where it... Looking at the scenario card myself, right now, I do not see a thing that says it must be starter kit 3 rules. So I don't know why it lists that, unless it's because starter kit 3 is vehicles, so you'd use those, but you kind of assume that would be the case because of the tank. Either way, like I said, I think this is an interesting scenario. I think it's fun. Certainly if you're getting into the game, you should probably look at this scenario. I think it's definitely worth your time. The only issue with it is that it's a hard to find scenario, because again, it belongs to the Operations Special Edition 2 magazine, not Special Operations Issue 2 magazine. The two are very different. If you're ever curious about the difference, I can only continue to suggest the ASL Scenario Archive. You can look up scenarios, individual scenarios. You can look up this one, and yeah, see. Usually, there's a picture of the product itself. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you all had fun. I will not be here for Saturday, and I will try to have a game on Monday. It'll likely be a solo thing because of proximity to Christmas. But for everybody who's been watching, commenting, all that, whether it's been here on Twitch or on YouTube, as always, I appreciate it. It's always nice to have people be curious about ASL and especially about this project. If I'm going to be at least a little vain about it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and have a nice week. Bye.